Testing, 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 testing. We're at Lambert Park, round 20 of the NPL New South Wales men. And we've got a classic. Hey. Hello everybody, Tony Tanous with you in commentary for this round 20 NPL Men's New South Wales Match of the Round. And it's a blockbuster, the Derby d'Italia, and it features the home side, APIA Leichhardt, taking on their historic Italian rivals in Marconi Stallions. The two teams just coming out with our referee in Craig Fisher. It's a spectacular Sunday autumn afternoon, and this one promises to be an absolute beauty. They've played already twice. They were here only within the past fortnight. APIA have won on both occasions in season 2024 in the NPL earlier over at the Palace in the early part of the campaign. And as I said, only within the past fortnight in the Australia Cup. That was a momentous occasion with APIA winning it in extra time. They've both been very tight games, but APIA have come out on top, 2-1 the victors on both occasions. And the Marconi Stallions, who come into this 6 points behind APIA in 5th spot, they'll be keen for revenge today. They know it's a must-win game for them if they're to keep their 2024 title ambitions alive. After 2 losses in a row, this is a massive game for them. APIA, they're in terrific form, currently sitting in 2nd spot behind Rockdale Illendon, 4 points behind the competition leaders, so they know that they have to keep winning. They've been in sparkling form. They've won 7 of their past 8 in the NPL, and they come into this with plenty of confidence and a few changes as well to their starting 11. We'll take you through both lineups after midweek games on Wednesday night. APIA make 2 changes to the side. That had a 4-1 victory over St. George City. Coming in for them are Anthony Bazanis and Josh Simmons. The full lineup, Anthony Bazanis in goals. The back 4, Saya Kambiashi, Dakota Askew, Josh Simmons and Michael Kuda. The midfield trio, Adrian Uccino, Jack Armson and Eddie Caspers. And then it's a front 3 on the flanks, Jordan Segredo and Sean Simmons. And leading the line in number 9 is Ben Gibson. The Marconi Stallions, they make just 1 change from the side that had a 4-0 loss to Sydney Olympic on Wednesday night. Coming into their starting 11 today, returning from injury, is the midfielder Liam Yulee. Take you through the Marconi lineup just after kickoff. But Craig Fisher is our match official, and it will be the home side, APIA, who'll be running from left to right. 40 points they are on to start the round, 6 ahead of Marconi in 5th spot on 34 points. And it is the 3rd instalment of the historic rivalry that is the Derby d'Italia. These 2 famous clubs that have their heritage in post-World War II Italian migration, dating back to the 1950s. Such proud histories. 7 decades of success that they've delivered for Australian football. And this is the latest instalment. APIA will feel confident coming in. As I said, those 2-1 victories, they've both been very tight affairs, and they've been decided late on. Back in round 5 in the NPL, it was Jordan Segredo who popped up off the bench with a 91st minute winner after Marconi had initially taken the lead. A 2-1 victory for APIA on the road. And then just a week and a half ago here at Lambert Park, the return to Lambert Park in season 2024 for APIA. That one went all the way to extra time, and it was Sean Simmons popping up in extra time with the winner. It's Marconi on the front foot here. Franco Mayer, the referee, just gesturing that was off the shoulder. Play on's the call as Millgate, pressed quickly by Gibson, does give us a chance just to go through the starting lineup for the visitors. So Peter Tsakenis, who's back on the bench today after serving his 2-match suspension for that red card against APIA in that cup game. He names the following 11. James Hilton in goals. The back 4, Brandon Vella, Nathan Milgate, Anton Mlinaric and George Daniel. The holding midfielders, Liam Yulee, as I said, back in the starting 11 today. He's alongside Daniel Bowman. And then in the wide attacking roles, Franco Mayer and Dominic Costanzo. Mlinaric Has to go back as he left it short. Hilton came. And he's claiming that Segredo might have left a little bit on him. So those two wide attackers are Franco Mayer and Jordan Segredo. And then in the front two, it's the skipper in Marko Jesic alongside James Temelkovski, playing in his first Italian derby of season 2024. A new recruit at the start of the campaign, but he hasn't been available for both the Derby d'Italias. So they'll be pleased to have him leading the line. It's been an injury and suspension riddled first season in the NPL New South Wales for one of the all-star performers in the National Premier League scene in season 2023. Came across from the South Australian National Premier League, where he's at the Metro Stars. It's been a stop-start beginning to life at Marconi. But today is a big game. And the Marconi Stallions, they know that they need the 3 points today if they're to keep their title ambitions alive. It's been a difficult couple of weeks. 3 losses in a row when you include the Australia Cup loss here to APIA. That was a good chase there from Ben Gibson. He's done well to win the corner. Playing it off Mlinaric. So an early chance to set up from a set piece here for the home side. They send Josh Simmons forward. 1 or 2 players back in the starting 11 today for Franco Parisi. They've also got Dakota Askew at the back post. The header won by Nathan Milgate. And that's a good pinch there from Costanzo. Can the Stallions trigger a counter-attack? Kuda does well to hold it up. Stopping Franco Mayer. Now Kambiashi rolls it down the line. Jack Armson looks for the early delivery. And Milgate had to be astute with his defending at the near post. Positive early signs for the home side. They're on the front foot, looking to put the pressure on the Stallions, who've had a difficult run. Going through a bit of a lean patch at the moment as they start to get a few bodies back. They have been decimated with injury and suspension in recent weeks. Here's Armson. See the idea there. Sean Simmons starting on the left side of the attack this afternoon. Pleased to have Liam Yulee back in the fold. They've also got Hiroaki Oyama, one of their star performers this year, on the bench. As Kuda comes forward, a great opportunity early on. Gibson made the run to the near post. Their top scorer. He's been in sparkling form over the last couple of months, has been Gibson. Didn't quite connect as he would have liked, but more positive signs early on for APIA Leichhardt. They win the ball high here. Jesic does well, working back, looking for some link up. Forward from George Daniel. Looking into the sun was Josh Simmons. Battle for possession in the middle of the park, and the skipper in Adrian Uccino gets it out to Kuda. It's going to be a throw-in. In fact, it is, as I suggested, a throw-in. Brendan Vella is back at right back today. Played midweek in the centre of midfield. He is the ever-adaptable, everywhere man for the Marconi Stallions, and he's certainly been everywhere for them over the past decade. A stalwart, the longest survivor in the squad that got promoted after a couple of years in the second tier of New South Wales football. Came up with the Stallions 6 or so years ago now. And he's been an ever-present today, doing the job at right back. With Yulee coming in, Vella Moves to right back with Cameron Windust, the player that makes way from the starting 11 midweek against Olympic. That was a difficult loss to take against one of their big rivals. And it was their second loss in a row in the NPL, their third in their past 5 matches. So it's been a bit of a lean, difficult spell. And they're hoping that today, the 20 round mark, 10 to go after this, that they can spark things up and get their season back on track. Millgate's the target here, and Bowman gets into the box. There were appeals there from both sides in the end. It was adjudged to have come off the arm maybe of Daniel Bowman. When you add the Australia Cup loss here a week and a half ago, that's 4 losses from their past 6. Those losses coming against Blacktown City. And then the last 2 games in the NPL, Spirit FC in round 18, a 1-0 loss on the road there. And then last week, as I said, at home, that 4-0 loss to Sydney Olympic. So today, very much about making a statement. We heard Dominic Costanzo on our NPL New South Wales socials. We saw him feature, and his comment was, today is very much about getting things back in the right direction. We want to make a statement. I know the importance of this. Peter Tsakenis asking for a bit more in the front third. He wants to see a bit more attacking intent. Feels perhaps those couple of losses over the past couple of weeks have maybe dented the confidence a touch. And he wants them on the front foot, being aggressive. They need to be the team that takes the initiative and not wait. APIA, on the other hand, what a run they're on at the moment. Winning 7 of their past in the NPL New South Wales. 7 of their past 8, only 1 loss, and it came in round 18 against Manly United. Their turnaround in fortunes came when they suffered a round 10 loss at home to Sydney United 58, 5-1 defeat on that occasion. And haven't they turned things around since? 7 from 8 in the league. You add the 4 wins in the Australia Cup preliminary rounds. So 11 of their past 12 matches have resulted in wins. So very much flying with confidence. And they've got Jack Armson here, who's held up by Millgate. Now Uchino, happy to spit it out towards Sean Simmons, but Vella was in there quick. Nice win by Vella to pinch it off Kuda. Here's Yuli. So good to see him back after 12 months out. Last few weeks, although he missed the midweek game. He has been back in action over the last month or so. An experienced campaigner. And they're starting to get a few bodies back. It's good to chat to Lockie Bayliss and Kyle Chimenti, as well as young Jonathan Suarez, all currently out injured. But all of them are a couple of weeks away. They've had long-term injuries. Bayliss since back in round 1. Chimenti hasn't yet featured in season 2024. That's a nice ball over the top, looking for Costanzo. Today, as I mentioned, they get a couple of players back, not only Hiroaki Oyama on the bench today, but Miloslav Popovic. He's been absent for the best part of the past month as well, so good news for the Stallions, starting to get some bodies back. It's been a flurry of games for them. They've got this one today, and then they've got to catch up midweek as well. Their round 17 match against Rockdale Illendon, which will feature on Wednesday night at home against Rockdale at the Palace. That is another massive game. So they know that if they can get a couple of wins against the top two, that'll propel them right back up the table. 2 wins and they could be finishing Wednesday in 3rd spot. So there's some big incentives for them. This match, the final match of round 20. And at the conclusion of this match, we will be 2/3 of the way through the regular season. Hard to believe that. Starting back in March. We're almost 2/3 of the way through. But for the conclusion of this one and 2 others taking place this afternoon. Keep you posted on progress at those respective games. I can inform you that at half-time over in the Central Coast, the Mariners currently 0-0 in another All A-League Academy derby against Sydney FC. That's just, whistle's just gone there for half-time. And we're deep into the first half. Over at the Rockdale Illendon Sports Centre, where the competition leaders currently lead by 1-0 over Manly United. Rockdale, as I said, started the round 4 points ahead of APIA. They're on a 7-match winning run. As Gibson's going to be flagged here. Assistant on the near side in Ari Gobinath. So Rockdale approaching half-time at home against Manly United, currently lead by 1-0. Ideal world for them, 3 points today. I'll hope that these 2 sides maybe split the points. Temilkovsky and Costanzo earning the free kick for that neat technical work on the halfway line. Referee just making sure Temilkovsky's okay. So this one, really important. Chance for Vella to play it forward. Dakota Askew, who has featured in the centre of defence this season. No Temba Moatamalo today, a familiar face, a familiar name. He's not even named on the bench. He's had a stack of games. He's been in wonderful form. But APIA have a deep squad and maybe not prepared to risk him today. So he and Rory Jordan, 2 familiar faces we've seen throughout the season, not in the matchday squad today. They're also still missing Anthony Sparacino. Good to see him working as part of his rehabilitation ahead of this match. He's not too far away from a return. It is that time of the campaign where managing the bodies, making sure that there's freshness across the squad. Still a third of the regular season to go after this round. Nice work here from Saya Kambiashin. It was a good touch from Armson, and Millgate had to be sharp in getting across there. And he got to it just ahead of Armson, but he stayed down. The referee just making sure, checking up on the Marconi central defender. 15-minute mark. If you're just joining us, Tony Tanous with you here, live on the Football New South Wales YouTube channel. Remember, live and free every game across the NPL New South Wales campaign in both the men's and women's top flights, and as well as match of the round in Football New South Wales League One, the second tier. So plenty of content. Our sportscast cameras around the grounds, along with our commentary crew. delivering the usual media content. We've got our reporters around the grounds delivering the match reports, coach comments, as well as the 3-2-1 votes. We've got our photographers. And today, Damien Briggs will be taking the snaps here for this Italian derby. It's a good build up here. As Kuda comes forward into the box, chance to whip this across, and Mlinaric had to be alert there at the near post. Important piece of defending. Maya eventually tripped up as Kuda was coming back. Also got plenty of social media content. Of course, our matches of the round featuring Instagram stories, live Insta. As Temilkovsky comes forward here down the right-hand side, up against Dakota Askew. Can he create some link-up play in the final third for the Stallions? They've been on the back foot for large parts, but Temilkovsky, great chance to whip this one in. And Saya Kambiashi was alert, gets a good applause from those gathered here. Another good crowd at Lambert Park. The APIA faithful pleased to be back here. Their home base. Only the second game in the NPL. It's their third game overall since the historic famous ground was reopened. They did play here against the Stallions. That was the first game in the Australia Cup Round 7 preliminary round. They then featured here last, in fact it was midweek as well, against St. George City, a 4-1 victory. Ben Gibson back in goal scoring form with a double in that one. Referee just giving the home side a foul there for that challenge by Daniel Bowman. And he becomes the first player to go into the book. So he's got to walk the tightrope from here. Not even at the 20-minute mark. We've seen our first player booked for that challenge in the middle of the park. Now APIA have a chance from a set piece. We know that Jack Armson, who was one of the standout performers in the National Premier League scene in 2023. His deliveries so lethal so often. Loose ball here now for Uchino, who can look towards Josh Simmons. Header across. Here's Gibson. He lets it run. Still alive here for APIA. Maya looking to clear for the Stallions. And now Temilkovsky. Can he trigger a counter-attack? Franco Maya looking to burst forward down the left. One-on-one against Uchino. Stands it up towards Costanzo it was, who got himself into the box. There was not a lot of power on the cross, so he had to try and find some power with his header, and he couldn't get it on target. Positive signs, though, for the Stallions in that counter-attack moment. But it remains 0-0. APIA, who played a lot of their games in the early half of the campaign over at Leichhardt Oval, while the turf here was being relayed. Looking in terrific condition. I understand it's playing extremely well once it gets the sprinklers on, and they're on ahead of the match. As the flag goes up, Temilkovsky thought he was in there for a second. Players really relishing the surface. Nice and soft. They're able to play a lot of their games in the early half, the first half of the season away from home. They flip them around. It means that APIA will be at home for a large portion of their remaining matches. In fact, after this one, 7 of their last 10 matches will be home games. And they finish off the season with 4 home games in a row. So it's not a bad position to be in for a club that do love to play at home. They've had a great record here over the years. Doesn't guarantee anything, but the ability to play so many games at home, particularly if things get tight towards the end of the campaign. But right now, Rockdale are setting the pace. They've had a terrific season. And I can give you an update from the Rockdale Illingdon Sports Centre. They scored again in stoppage time in the first half. Alek Urushevsky, who else? The competition's leading scorer. Approaching 20 for the campaign. He scored again. And Rockdale lead by 2-0 over Manly. So doing the business at Paul D's side. Millgate has to react here. Ben Gibson looking sharp, trying to pounce on that loose ball. Moment of hesitation from the visitors. It's been a bumper weekend. After that midweek, round 19, full fixture list. We had 5 games across our NPL grounds yesterday. I'll take you through all of those results. And right now, Jack Armstrong just retrieving the ball so he can take this corner. Again, they send Josh Simmons forward. Dakota Askew, who's popped up for a goal from a set piece already this season. No Temba Moatamalo, of course, today. So often the target. So they've got to try and find some other solutions from the set pieces. They've got a free kick here. Franco Mayer's also going to go into the book for that challenge on Segredo. So suddenly a couple of quick yellow cards. Mayer joining Daniel Bowman in referee Craig Fisher's book. And Jordan Segredo, one of the new signings this season, one of the star performers for APIA, came across from the Central Coast Mariners. Looking to provide maybe an assist here, maybe a difficult one to go direct, but he does do that. Trying to catch the keeper out, but he couldn't get it under the crossbar. Those 5 games yesterday. Bit of a thriller between Sydney Olympic and the Sutherland Sharks, with Mitch Stamatellis popping up with a 96-minute penalty at Belmore. Olympic looked like they were going to keep their winning streak going. But a former favourite son of theirs in Mitch Stamatellis, keeping his composure from the penalty spot to pick up a valuable point for the Sharks. Speaking of valuable points, Spirit FC, who we saw in action midweek, they featured against Sydney United in our match of the round. They suffered a big loss against Sydney United. Well, they rebounded yesterday with an important victory, a 1-0 victory for them over the Western Sydney Wanderers. Michael Conestabo, great to see him back in recent weeks on the score sheet. An important result for Spirit, just to get their little buffer from the bottom 2. That was a tight affair. The Wanderers came home late. It was also tight over at Wollongong, where the home side, the Wolves, managed to come from behind. Lockie Scott getting a late equaliser for a 2-2 draw against Blacktown City. That was neat idea, neat build-up from the Stallions. They couldn't quite find the thread. And got it into the feet of Jesic. So 2-2 draw. It's a result that moves Blacktown up to 38 points. 2 behind APIA ahead of this one in third spot. Perhaps the most dramatic affair yesterday came at Landon Stadium, Sydney United 58, coming from 2-0 behind at half-time. 3 second-half goals and a winner from Patrick Antelmi into stoppage time after Carlos de Oliveira and Shunta Nakamura had drawn them level. Come from behind victory, so 2 wins in a row for Željko Kalatz's side. Gets their season back on track after a bit of a dip from them. That's nice work here from Bowman. Can Marconi create something? They get Vela coming forward. This one playing out as we've seen so far between these two sides. Nice and tight in the early going. Smayer made the run, looking to get him behind, but not quite connecting in the final third so far, the Stallions. And the final of our results last night came in the St. George derby. The first one was dramatic with St. George FC scoring deep into stoppages. They grabbed a point each. This time it was St. George City, the away side, who got a 2-0 victory. The goals coming from Matty Karamalevsky, an absolute screamer from him, as well as Tariq Ercan. Despite having a player sent off, Mirko Uril's side coming away with a 2-0 victory. First team to win a St. George derby in the top flight. Here's Temorkovsky looking to show his qualities, trying to thread it in behind for Costanzo. APIA alert to that. It was important from Cambiashi. This is nice now from Liam Yulee. He doesn't mind striking from out. And that was on target. Certainly got Buzanis interested. He's never shy to take a shot when the opportunity presents, Liam Yulee. That's the first time Buzanis has had to do anything of note. Good couple of minutes this for the visitors. Can they make it stick here? Costanzo maybe in 2 minds. Mlinaric quickly pressed there by Gibson. And now Mlinaric has to recover. Milgate gets across. And now it's on with Gibson rounding the keeper. And there was Mlinaric who made the initial error and gave Gibson the opportunity. What about the recovery there? Stayed alive to his defensive responsibility. And after Gibson had got the better of Milgate and rounded Hilton, it was Mlinaric there to deny him and keep it at 0-0. Perhaps APIA's best moment so far. And it came from a defensive error. Just as they were starting to feel good about their attacking pressure, they had to get back into defensive transition. We've got a player down just in their own half, an APIA defender. We'll keep an eye on that. Looks like it might even be Josh Simmons. We will confirm that. Michael Saman, the physio for APIA, just on the pitch. Does give us a chance just to go around the grounds on this Sunday afternoon, wrapping up round 20. We are at half-time over at Rockdale, and they currently lead Manly by 2-0. Their goal scorers, Matthew Cordier on 11 minutes, Alek Urushevsky on 48 minutes just before half-time. And it is, in fact, Sean Simmons, the number 16. And he's just limping off. It looks like perhaps an ankle injury. We'll see. We'll keep an eye on him. We'll keep an eye on Franco Parisi and the APIA bench. Just past the half-hour mark. See if Sean Simmons can limp it off and get back on. Right now the focus is back at the corner. And that is going to be Jack Armson. Again, he fizzes this one in. Defending it at the near post was Bowman. Segreto picks up the ball at the back post. Stands this one up. Hilton was challenged there by Josh Simmons. Heavy challenge on the keeper. We have seen in the back play Sean Simmons limp back onto the pitch. We'll keep an eye on him. Does give us a chance just to take you through the respective benches for these two sides. I mentioned earlier Jack Stewart, one of those, back in action today after a couple of weeks out with illness. Had a bout of pneumonia. APIA faithful will be pleased to see him back on the pitch. What an impact he can potentially make later on in this match. So he's one of the subs at the disposal of Franco Parisi. The reserve keeper is Alex Parks. The other subs are Nick Azzoni, Luigi De Troia, Alex Denmead and Nick Sullivan. Marconi Stallions on the other hand. Their reserve keeper is Patrick Williams. I mentioned Hiroaki Oyama as one of their options. Miloslav Popovic. They've got Cameron Windust, Julian Monge and Yakov Malbasa. They're the respective benches for the two clubs. Now it's going to be a set piece. It is an area that Marconi are very strong at, particularly with Nathan Milgate, who's just shielding the sun from his eyes. Josh Simmons dealing with that. Gives Marconi another opportunity to keep the pressure on. Yesic the target. It's been a stop-start affair so far. Not a lot of flow just yet. We saw the Australia Cup match, which was so much ebb and flow. This one is more in keeping with what we saw back in round 5. A tight affair in the first half. That one, we remember, didn't open up till the final 20 minutes, where Marconi took the lead through Nathan Milgate from a set piece. And then it was all on with APIA clearing their bench. They brought on Segreto. What a difference he made. He and Jack Stewart popping up with the goals to give APIA a 2-1 victory. Let's see how this one plays out. Dakota Askew looking over the top for Kuda. Working back on him is Mayer. Simmons all the way back to his keeper. And now Josh Simmons. Looks to feed Segreto. Haven't said that too often throughout 2024. A heavy touch from the youngster. And it gives Marconi a chance to counter-attack through Costanzo. Nice little work to get it out here of defence from the home side. But Cambiashi trips over the ball as he's on the dribble. Franco Mayer. He offers it up now for APIA. Both sides guilty of turning it over. Simmons looks to get it across now to Segreto. Eventually finds Caspers. He tries to slide it in behind, and now it's Gibson! And you saw the opportunity open up there after a delightful thread from Caspers. But he couldn't get his shot on target. And the gasps from the home fans gathered here at Lambert Park told the story. A great opportunity there to open it up. The final 10 minutes of the opening half. Lovely thread ball from Caspers. It's been a beautiful day. No doubt many staying up watching Euro 2024 overnight. The The Italian fans watching at home on the Football New South Wales YouTube live stream will have been pleased with the response after Albania took the lead on 24 seconds. A couple of good, quick responses, Bastoni and Varela. Great performance from the Azzurri in that one. So plenty of pleased Italian fans, whether your allegiances are with the Marconi Stallions or with APIA Leichhardt. Very pleased with that result earlier this morning. Which way will this one go? Marconi have the set piece and they've got Franco Meyer. Chance to whip this one in on his left foot. Michael Kuda with the initial contact. Now George Daniel, one of the new signings for the Stallions this season, making the move across from Central Coast Mariners. There's been a number of players have made the move across from the Mariners. And there's Jesic, and he opens it up. A delightful ball over the top from Franco Meyer. And there was Marko Jesic getting a subtle little header, and he managed to shape it over the keeper in Anthony Bouzanis. And he's opened the scoring for the Stallions. Approaching the final 5 minutes of the opening half. And in this must-win match for the Marconi Stallions, they've taken the lead. A delightful assist from Franco Meyer. And Marko Jesic goes to double figures for the upteenth time. This time, season 2024. 10 now for the campaign. And there's Skipper, who's produced many a big goal over the years for the Stallions. He's got the first one here, and he's punished Apia, who had a glorious opportunity only moments ago. The shape on that delivery from Franco Meyer was pinpoint. Jesic got him behind the Apia defence and managed to get that subtle little header over Bouzanis. That's triggered a reaction. We've seen David Depuzzo, the assistant to Franco Parisi, just conjuring up, asking his team to lift. 5 minutes or so remain before half time. I'll be looking to hit back immediately. What a crucial goal that could be. We have seen that already this season, though, for the Stallions. They took the lead back in the first match that they played back in round 5. And Apia are able to come back, and they've got an opportunity as Jack Armson on the edge of the box, blocked by Vela. Gibson, was he fouled? Yes, the referee is right on the spot. A little bit too physical there from Mlinaric. And he's given away a free kick. Great opportunity here for Apia to hit back before the break. Opening goal coming on 39 minutes. It's been a tight affair. But Marconi feel that they starting to build into the match, and they feel like they got their reward there. But now they've got to make sure that they stay alert defensively. Segretto's over this one. This time he whips it into a dangerous area. And it was not too far away. It looked like Sean Simmons and Dakota Askew were the two players climbing there. It's going away for a corner, so off a Marconi defender in the end. And here's Armson. Cambiashi also comes forward. Gibson's in there as well. Over Gibson's head. Josh Simmons the target. And there's Gibson. And what about the save? James Hilton. Sharp down to his right. A superb stop there, having just taken the lead. That's the type of concentration you want from your custodian. Now Armson. Edge of the box is Josh Simmons. Looks to slide it in behind. Cambiashi. Just over the byline in the end. The assistant on the near side in Ari Golbanath. But what about the reactions there? James Hilton sharp down to his right to deny Ben Gibson. It was Josh Simmons climbing at the back post from the Armson corner, and it fell to Gibson, who didn't hesitate. Trying to strike immediately. And Hilton, having just scored at the other end, has kept it at 1-0 to the Stallions. How crucial could that save be? Segredo back to Kambayashi. Yuli. Under pressure here from Armson. Have had a score over at the Central Coast. Sydney FC have been on a good run the last couple of weeks. They've taken a 1-0 lead just before the hour mark against the Mariners. Important match for both those sides, looking to climb up the ladder. Mariners had a big win over the Wanderers midweek. Only their third win of the season. So they'll be hoping that they can get back into that one at home. Keep you posted on progress there, as well as at Rockdale, where the home side have now extended their lead. And who else but Alec Udashevsky has now moved to 20 goals for the campaign after his Golden Boot efforts last season. Player of the Year award as well. One of the absolute best strikers in Australian football, no doubt about that. Could play anywhere. Alec Udashevsky is a phenomenal goal-scoring machine. What a record he has. Here's Kuda now. Sean Simmons, who himself has produced some massive moments for this club over the past decade. Slides it in to Segredo. Great opportunity. And it's come all the way to Gibson. And somehow, at the back post, George Daniel with some miraculous defending. Still alive here for APIA as they look to hit back. And how did Marconi survive that? It was Armson in the box. Gibson was there as well. And somehow, George Daniel got back to clear off the line. That's a couple of terrific goal line clearances now for the Stallions. And the young left back stayed alive to that defensive work. Terrific piece of recovery there from the Stallions. They were opened right up through the middle. As APIA stretched them down that left-hand side. But they remain in front, 1-0. Kambayashi drops it short to Kaspers. He's given it up here, though, to Liam Yuli. He's got a bit of space and room to run. Temolkovsky couldn't get it forward to Costanzo. We are now into stoppages here at Lambert Park. Even since the opening goal, APIA have had a great opportunity. Suddenly, the game's opened right up. Chances at both ends. Tight, cagey affair for the first half hour. Not a lot of chances. We see that so often when these two sides come together, but the Stallions, they have to take the initiative here. They come into this trailing APIA by 6 points, and they've got another opportunity here. Temolkovsky turns onto the left foot, and that is clinical. James Temolkovsky with a terrific striker's goal. He got in behind the APIA defence. He kept his calm, and he turned onto the left foot, and he has delivered big time. A big goal for the Marconi Stallions. Coming into the half-time break, they take a 2-0 lead over APIA in this big Derby d'Italia. Looking for their first one of the season, their first victory in this derby. And they've taken a 2-0 lead now. And Temolkovsky with his 8th of the campaign. He spent a lot of the first 2/3 of the season out, either injured or suspended. But he picked his moment there and delivered in a big way. That was a wonderful piece of finishing. Stood his defender up, turned one way, then the other, and then had the class and composure to punch it past Anthony Bazanis. And Marconi go 2-0 up, having survived a couple of big moments at the other end. It's been a terrific finish to this opening half, which was cagey for large parts. But 2 late goals from their 2 top scorers, Marko Jesic on 39 minutes, and then James Telmakovsky into stoppage time. And it's the Marconi Stallions who know the importance of this one. They take a 2-0 lead into the break. We'll be back with all the second half action. Make sure you stick around on Football New South Wales YouTube. And it is a welcome back to Lambert Park, this round 20 NPL Men's New South Wales match of the round, this much anticipated Derby d'Italia, and what an end to the first half. If you are just joining us, it was terrific from the away side, the Marconi Stallions. What an end to the first half. 2 goals for them from the 39-minute mark. Marko Jesic opening the scoring after a really tight affair for large parts of that first half. In fact, APIA will probably feel that they had the best moments. The couple of chances cleared off the line. Ben Gibson skying one when he looked like he was in as well. They'll feel, APIA, that they had the best moments before Marko Jesic put the away side ahead. It was a delightful ball over the top on 39 minutes. And it was from Franco Meyer. You can see the home side APIA. They're back out here, ready for action in the second half, because they were stung in injury time. James Temolkovsky, who got him behind, managed to turn his defender and finish adroitly past Anthony Buzanis to make it 2-0. No doubt Franco Parisi and David DiPuzzo have fired up their team. They've got him out there to start the second half. Marconi have made them wait a bit. Marconi, no doubt the message will be the importance of the 3 points today. And they came into this, as I said earlier on in the coverage, they came in 5th spot, 6 points behind APIA. Marconi on 34 points. APIA 4 points behind top place Rockdale. APIA on 40. So no doubt the importance of this for the Stallions. They take a 2-0 lead into the second half. Tony Tanous with you here as referee. Craig Fisher gets the second half underway. Marconi running from left to right in their traditional green top, white shorts. And they've got that 2-goal buffer. We will see at some point, no doubt, some adjustments. There's been a flurry of games for both of these clubs. And Marconi, they have another midweek fixture coming up, a massive game for them against Rockdale Illendon. They won't be focused too much on that just yet. Right now, they know that they have to get the job done here. 3 points today, and then if they can pick up the 3 against Rockdale, suddenly they will move up to 3rd on the ladder. So a real key part of their season. But still plenty to do here. Start of the second half. They've got to defend this set piece with Jordan Segredo looking to aim forward. It looks like Josh Simmons has made his way forward. Saya Kambiashi with the little flick on. Here's Armson. Dakota Askew. Marconi anywhere will do for now. Gives APIA a chance just to keep the pressure on. Kuda on the left foot. Working back is Mayer. He's got to make sure he doesn't give away a foul there. Gets away with it. But it's still on here now for Armson. Important win there from Mlinaric, and he can flick it out with that left foot of his. Out to Costanzo, and suddenly they're 3-on-2 in counter-attack. Costanzo getting into the box. Costanzo slides it across, and there's the composure, and Marconi make it 3-0. Temolkovsky with the heads-up play to Franco Meyer. They had the numbers. They just needed the calm, and they delivered exactly that. Temolkovsky turning in the 18-yard box, spotting Franco Meyer, and he was happy to punch that away into an open goal. And Marconi start the second half just as they finish the first. They take a 3-0 lead. And that was a lethal counter-attack initiated by the win in midfield from Anton Mlinaric and Dominic Costanzo. Getting the better there of Josh Simmons. And Franco Meyer with a big fist pump. He's got an assist, a delightful assist for the opening goal, and now he's got himself on the score sheet. He scores his 4th of the campaign, having made the move across from St. George City in the off-season. Player who hails from the western suburbs of Sydney. Franco Mayer comes up big in this big Italian derby. What a start to the second half. 3 minutes in and the Stallions are 3-0 up. This must-win match for them. They've been on the wrong end of the scoreline in both derbies so far. And they knew that the stakes were high in this one. 2 losses in a row, 3 from their last 5 in the NPL. Decimated by injuries, suspensions. So far, so good. They know that this APIA team, which is so capable of hitting the back of the net, as far as attack's concerned, they're second only to the Western Sydney Wanderers this season. Managed to bag 53 goals in 18 matches so far. 15 different goal scorers. And they will come hard in this second half. So don't count the 3 points just yet. Looks like they are getting substitute ready in Jack Stewart. Keep an eye on that. But right now the focus is on this set piece. They've got Jordan Segredo. Can he produce some magic? He's got himself 7 already for the season. Segredo. Milanaric, who gets some credit for that, starting that counter-attack. Jesic happy to lay it short to Liam Yulee. He can't keep it for the Stallions. We are going to see a change. In fact, it is going to be Marconi instead who go to their bench. And it looks like it will be Nathan Milgate who makes way. Looks like he's got a bit of a slight limp. Hopefully nothing serious. They do have that midweek game against Rockdale, that catch-up round 17 match. So Cameron Windust is the player that comes on. He is a like-for-like swap. We've seen Windust out on the right side of defence for large parts of the season. But we saw him make the move across to Marconi as a central defender after his stint at the Mariners. So he'll form that duo alongside Anton Mlinaric in the centre of defence. So they look to keep a clean sheet. They've struggled to keep them in recent times. At one point they were the second best defensive unit in the league, the Marconi Stallions. And they've conceded 5 in their past 2 games, and they've just slipped to 4th as far as those defensive rankings are concerned. So they'll be intent to give nothing away. APIA will ask plenty of questions though, no doubt about that. You've got Kuda coming forward. Sean Simmons. Now Uchino. Here is Josh Simmons looking to clip it over to the top. Casper's making the run. Give you some update scores. We've had plenty of action taking place towards the end of the first half here, early in the second half. As Simmons looks to stand this one up towards his brother in Sean. It's going to fall here to Jack Armson. Marconi crowd. The central midfielder. APIA keep it alive. Kuda making the run forward. And now it's Segreto turning one way and the other. Segreto! What a save! Again it's Hilton. And yet again, what about that double stop? James Hilton, if you don't mind. Cat-like reflexes. Superb double stop there after that save earlier in the match. To keep out Gibson. He was sharp and alert there. Huge work from the Marconi custodian. He's had a super afternoon so far. APIA coming hard. Here is Segreto. And it's Hilton. He had to get across there. No touch on that occasion. Just across the face. And we are going to see that player I just mentioned a moment ago in Jack Stewart. Back from a bout of illness. And it's going to be Eddie Caspers, the central midfielder, who makes way. So that'll see Jordan Segreto drop into the midfield trio. And Jack Stewart will shape up on the right side of the attack. So that's the adjustment, personnel adjustment, a slight shift for Jordan Segreto. As things stand, Rockdale are going to build a bigger buffer at the top of the ladder. They currently lead by 4-0 into the final 10 minutes. They came into the round 4 points ahead of APIA. And as things stand, Rockdale will be moving to 47. APIA will be remaining on 40. So a 7-point buffer atop the ladder. Rockdale, who came in with big ambition. Kuda, who's just holding his ankle here right under the commentary position. Back up on his feet. Bowman just lays it back to Vela. Strong work from Bowman, and now Temolkovski, whose confidence is up. He's got himself a goal and an assist. Bowman turning inside. Daniel Bowman! He got his shot on target, but it was straight into the body of an opponent. What an afternoon it has been in the NPL in New South Wales. Rockdale looking to build a big lead atop the ladder. Marconi looking for a big scalp, keep themselves alive as Segreto looks to get in behind. And that was excellent work from Windust, the freshman in the centre of defence. Here's Uccino playing it forward, looking for Sean Simmons. And Windust happy to let the keeper come for that. James Hilton, it's been a terrific showing from him. A double stop moments ago to go with one late in the first half where he denied Gibson. And quite the highlights reel that James Hilton can build around his saves in this match. They could prove crucial for the Stallions as Segreto looks to ask another question. He's dropped into the centre of midfield, but you can see he loves to make forward runs. Can give you an update also from the Central Coast, where the home side have equalised in the last 10 minutes of regulation time. They're in stoppage time at the moment, 1-1 between the Mariners and Sydney FC. And again, the Mariners, after they picked up the 3 points against the Wanderers in another All-Academy derby here, as Marconi make another change. Bowman is the player that comes off. And Hiroaki Oyama, how pleased are they to see him back, the Marconi faithful. What a player he is. They've really missed him over the last couple of matches, no doubt about that. Working back there is his compatriot Nsaya Kambayashi. So Yama, a like-for-like swap. He's moved alongside Liam Yulee in the centre of that midfield. Keep you posted on the scores at both Rockdale and the Central Coast. Here is Askew. Now Uchino. Here's Oyama. You can see his qualities immediately. Look at the way he managed to get himself out of that tight pickle. Plenty of rumours are circulating around the future of Hiro Oyama. Out now with Liam Yulee. Here is Oyama. Now Daniel. Costanzo, whose role in that third goal was critical, driving at the heart of the APIA defence. And he, like Temelkovski, showing plenty of composure when he got inside that 18-yard box. Here is Armson laying it out to Sean Simmons. On the gallop he goes, looking for the runner Gibson. Lenaric uses the body well. That's been a good battle. The speed and mobility of Gibson. Again, it's Lenaric. That's been another little marker for him. Sean Simmons trying to get the better there of Vela. Yulee knocks that one over. That one, I think they'll struggle to find that. It looks like it's gone a couple of blocks down the road. Anywhere will do for the Stallions, who lead by 3-0. Nice first touch, Josh Simmons. Nice ball from Stewart into Segredo. And what about the challenge there from Windust? Armson can keep the pressure on. Now Stewart. I missed him over the past couple of games as well. Jack Stewart. Back from a bout of pneumonia. Certainly been going around. Stallions will look to be professional from here. They've done well to build that 3-goal buffer. 3 quick goals, 2 just before half-time, 1 after the break. And they're on the front foot here. And now Jesic! What about that? Marko Jesic, if you don't mind, with an absolute screamer from the edge of the box. He took it on first time, and suddenly the Stallions are flying. 4-0 up, and Jesic goes to 11 for the season. Marko Jesic picked that one out. There's no stopping that. And the Stallions, who've been on the receiving end in the 2 derbies so far this season, just past the hour mark. They've made it 4-0. And Jesic with an absolute rocket. Amazing what a bit of confidence hitting the back of the net. They started tentative, and you could see those 4 losses in their past 6 matches, all competitions, was certainly impacting them in the front third. They really struggled with that front third combination in the opening half hour. But once the first goal came, the confidence has just continued to mount from there. They haven't been able to score in their past 2 NPL fixtures. And suddenly they've got 4. And 4 in the space of 20 or so minutes as well. Over the top here from Kuda. This is shaping up as quite the result and quite the statement. Dominic Costanzo spoke about it in the build-up. He said that the Stallions were here. They were coming here to make a statement and get things back on track. We want to get our season going in the right direction, he said. And what a statement they are producing. They know they've got a big match as well coming up midweek. They won't want any injuries. They want to make sure that they do as professional a job from here. They've done the business. Here's Kuda taking the space in front of him. Switching it out now to Segreto. He's got Armson square, Armson strikes. He can't get it on target. After his double digits return last season, it's been a bit more difficult this campaign. He's just managed to get 4 so far. David DePuzzo just comes to the 4th official. They are going to make 2 changes here, APIA. Nick Azzoni on for Adrian Uccino, and Alex Denmead is the other one. He's going to come on for Sean Simmons. So they're the 2 adjustments. Like-for-like swaps. Azzoni can play in that centre of midfield. Denmead will play out on the left side of the attack. Always a difficult one for APIA with no Temba Mwatamalo. Such a steady influence. One of the real standout defenders in the National Premier League scene. They're missing him today. It's been a difficult one, conceding the 4 goals. And certainly they'll reflect on the chances that they missed in that opening half. 2 or 3 good ones for Ben Gibson in particular. A couple cleared off the line. Lunarich at one point. George Daniel, another memorable clearance. And the keeper, James Hilton, early in the second half to go with the spectacular save at the end of the first half. Some key moments. So maybe 4-0, not a fair reflection of the shape that this game has taken. But the Stallions have been clinical once they got there first. They've put the foot down. They've been lethal in transition, and they might have some more space here with Costanzo sliding it in behind for Daniel. He's got room on the left-hand side. And it was Josh Simmons who got across. Can confirm that full-time result over at the Central Coast. Mariners coming back for a 1-1 draw against Sydney FC. So the 2 academy sides splitting the points. Here, Marconi lead by 4-0. This one is plucked out by Buzanis. Not much you could do about that strike from Jesic. That was a missile. Rockdale have done the business. We can confirm that the result over at the Rockdale Illingdon Sports Centre finishes 4-0 as Gibson now gets a bit of space. He looks to get it across to Denmead. And there was Vella, the ever-present Brandon Vella. The man that's synonymous with this club, Marconi. What a job he's done over the past decade. And there he was, making sure that they didn't cough up an opportunity to APIA. Windust at the back post. I don't lose anything. Marconi with Millgate coming off for Windust. He's so strong in the air. Naric and Windus just organising the defence. Temelkovski working back as well. He'll turn. He's in no mood to cough up anything here. His confidence must be sky high. So the final 20 minutes of this round, round 20. And at that point, we will be 2/3 of the way through the season. And it will be Rockdale leading proceedings with 10 rounds to go. APIA, who came into this on 40 points. Rockdale have managed to move up to 47 now. Both of those still with a game in hand. Rockdale will play theirs midweek, away to the Stallions. And here's Brandon Vella going to take the captain's armband. Marko Jesic with a wonderful return. What about his second goal? His first was crucial in that it opened up a tight match. But he's just walked off on the near side here. The skipper handed the armband. And they are going to bring on a couple of substitutes. In fact, three. Three of the youngsters. Yakov Malbasa, great to see Miloslav Popovic back. And they've also brought on Julian Monge. And it is going to be Franco Mayer, Liam Yulee, all making way as our camera pans to them on the near sideline. They get an applause from the travelling Marconi fans. So Costanzo, in fact it was Mayer, Jesic and Yulee, the three players that have made way for Malbasa. Popovic and Julian Monge. Lenaric happy to knock that one out. They've got to be all about business from here. The Stallions, I know they've got that big game midweek. This is a result that will move them up equal with the Wanderers on 37 points. Blacktown City, who have played one game more, they're on 38. So they know that if they can keep the result here, win on Wednesday, they move up to third spot on the ladder. And after a difficult period, starting to get a few bodies back and maybe some more positive vibes. I'll be pleased to see Oyama, Miloslav Popovic back. And as I said earlier in the coverage, not too far away, the likes of Kyle Chimenti, Lockie Bayliss, maybe even Jonathan Suarez. That was a strong challenge on Ben Gibson for Naric and Windus. Windus has been in no mood since coming on to give anything away. And it looks like APIA are going to clear their bench. They're going to make two more substitutions here. Jordan Segredo, one of those coming off. Nick Sullivan, the player to come on for him. And Luigi DeTroya is also on. Ben Gibson, the player coming off for him. Here is DeTroya with his first touch. So both coaches clearing the bench for the remaining minutes of this one. Just about 17 minutes of regular time left. Does give us a chance just to wrap up the round and wrap up where things stand as we head towards the 2/3 of the season point. Armson just drifting into an offside position. So just wrapping up the 5 results yesterday. The Sutherland Sharks coming back for a crucial point. They're in a battle at the bottom of the ladder. Steve Zoric's side, they relied on Mitchell Stamatellis to pop up with a 96-minute. How cool was he to dispatch that past Noah James. So 1-1 at finish between Olympic and the Sutherland Sharks. Olympic not pleased about the awarding of the penalty, but Stamatellis kept his calm, kept his composure. Spirit FC, after their midweek loss away to Sydney United in our match of the round for round 19, they bounced back against the Western Sydney Wanderers with a 1-0 win. Michael Conostarbo, the scorer for David Perkovic's side, which moves them up to 21 points. And started to string a few results in recent weeks. Here's Temokovsky. Now Popovic. Good work from Armson. Skips past a second in Monge. Stewart quickly onto Detroya. Here's Den Mead. Goes on the dribble. There was Windust again. He's been very solid since coming on. Over in Wollongong last night, the Wolves, a double from Jake True, who's been in wonderful goal-scoring form for David Carney's men. They had the lead early on. Blacktown scoring twice through Grant Lynch, and then Tyron Burney made it 2-1, but Wolves were able to come back late on. Lockie Scott popping up with the equaliser to go with True's earlier goal. 2-2 that finished. And then the big comeback from Jelko Kalac to Sydney United 58 after their midweek victory over Spirit FC. They've bounced back with a couple of wins. It's a great comeback win last night after Hills United taking a 2-0 lead into half-time. Sydney United through goals from Carlos de Oliveira, Shunta Nakamura to level things up, and then Antelmi popping up with a clinical finish from the edge of the 18-yard box on just into stoppage time to win it. Now there's a result that moves Sydney United up to 36 points. Not too far behind. Western Sydney Wanderers, and the Stallions will join the Wanderers on 37. And the final game last night was the St George Derby in St George City with a 2-0 victory despite the send-off of Presley Ortiz. Coming away with their first Derby win in the top flight against neighbours St George FC. Here is Kuda, not shy in taking the shot from long range. He's got a terrific left foot. Couldn't keep that one down. And earlier on today, Central Coast Mariners, who started the round in bottom spot, they'll remain there, but that might prove a crucial point. Just as Sutherland came back to pick up a point last night at Olympic, the Mariners have done the same. That moves them up to 12 points, 2 behind Sutherland. Sutherland, who do have a game in hand, as do the Central Coast Mariners. The Mariners round 17 match against APIA. No word yet on that one. When that will be played, keep an eye on NPL New South Wales fixture list for all the updates on those catch-up matches. Spirit have also got a catch-up match to play against the Sutherland Sharks. to see Brandon Vella give it up. Here's Armson. As we move towards the final 10 minutes here at Lambert Park. This is a result that will reverberate around the NPL New South Wales scene, no doubt. APIA have been on quite the run since they conceded that big loss to Sydney United 58 at home in round 10. That one was played out at Sydney Olympic Park. They've gone on a big winning run. They've won 7 of their last 8 coming into this. So they came into it with plenty of confidence. Marconi have come here to make a statement, perhaps get some revenge for those 2 results so far in the earlier derbies. Josh Simmons was appealing for a corner there, but the referee saying it came off the APIA defender last. Yellow card there to James Hilton. He's had a terrific afternoon, but a bit of time wasting. A bit of gamesmanship there. Experienced Craig Fisher alert to that. Here comes the third Marconi player booked. The other 2 have been replaced, Franco Mayer and Daniel Bowman. So some important games to come at the bottom of the ladder. Mentioned Central Coast's catch-up game against APIA. That could have an impact at the top of the ladder as well, whenever that one's eventually scheduled. At Rockdale, they can only do the business at their end, and they've skipped 7 points clear after a thumping 4-0 victory this afternoon over Manly United. Another double to Alek Urushevsky to take him up to 20 for the campaign. So he looks to go back-to-back as far as the Golden Boot is concerned. Maybe even Player of the Year award. Another campaign it's been for him. And they're in action midweek. Make sure you join us. I'll be out there at the Palace Marconi Stadium on Wednesday night. Big catch-up round 17 match as Marconi, a victory for them against Rockdale will move them up to 40 and equal with APIA. So a massive game coming up. And suddenly, after a stutter over the past month or so from the Stallions, you just never know. They could be facing things in a different direction on an upward trajectory with players coming back. Things can turn very quick. Here's Sullivan. APIA, for once, they will have the full week off. There's been a number of midweek games back-to-back over the past few weeks. Cups football. Scheduled midweek round last week. So they're going to enjoy a bit of freshness this week. They'll be away in a big inner west derby against Sydney Olympic next Saturday afternoon. That one over at Cogra Jubilee in the Strata Jubilee Oval. Saturday afternoon. Marconi, you've got Rockdale midweek, and then they're at home again next week against the Sutherland Sharks. So an important week for them all up. Popovic working back here on Denmead. Good communication from Brandon Vella, just to keep him alert to his defensive responsibility. Now Stewart making the move around the back here is Atzoni. He's just moved into that right back position. That was a decent hit from Stewart. First time effort. We've seen Jesic score an absolute screamer. Here comes the corner. Hilton, yet again, his confidence is sky high. Forward they come. The home side, can they get back in it? Here's Kuda. Now Stewart. Looking for Armson on the edge of the box. O'Sullivan picks up the loose ball and he's going to try his luck. Hilton spills and there's the pieces. Poaching it away was Luigi De Troia. A poacher's finish there as APIA unleashed from long range. And Hilton, who's had a terrific afternoon, couldn't hold a shot. Spilled it into the path there of Luigi De Troia. And De Troia punching it home to make it 4-1. De Troia with only his second of the league season after making the move across from the NPL South Australia. Great strike from long range from Nick Sullivan. Here's Armson. They'll be disappointed Marconi not able to keep a clean sheet yet again. Hilton, who's had a wonderful afternoon, produced some key saves. Here is Simmons sliding it forward. And you can hear all the way from the other side, the dugout. Peter Tsakenas just making sure the players stay switched on to their responsibility here and don't clock off. Been solid defensively in the second half. They did rely on a couple of saves from Hilton, but in the main, they've kept APIA at bay. Here is Den Mead. Fellow working all the way back to Hilton. Timurkovsky will be pleased with his shift. Getting on the score sheet. It's been a few weeks since he's been back from suspension. Got the 4-match ban in that send-off against Blacktown City. Here's Armson gets in behind, and that was a great opportunity. His volley, first time, he couldn't keep it down. Hilton just reminding his midfielders, the front third, just to keep the pressure on and not allow those early deliveries. And I'll be disappointed to have coughed up another opportunity there. Our fourth official on the far side in Rowan Fisher. No relation to the referee, Craig. He's getting the board readied. Look like we'll see 4 minutes of additional time. We're not quite there yet. There haven't been too many heated moments in this Derby d'Italia version 3 of season 2024. Experienced Craig Fisher in the middle, Matt McCorrist and Ari Gobernath on the sidelines, and Rowan Fisher. We saw a feisty affair in the Australia Cup Round 7 match, which saw the send-off of Peter Tsakenas. Some heated moments in that one. Marconi have been in control since they got their opening goal, and particularly after Temilkovsky made it 2 just before half-time. If you missed it earlier on, Marko Jesic, his second goal, the 4th for the Stallions, was an absolute rocket. Took it first time on the edge of the box, and Anthony Bizanis had no chance. It arrowed into the top corner, and it was still going as it hit the back of the net. No doubt that one will be circulated on our socials. It's another absolute highlight from Marko Jesic, and how many has he produced over the past decade or so in the New South Wales football scene. Bit too much to say there from the central midfielder in Hiroaki Oyama. He goes into the book. Forward from Mlinaric. His clearance is going to fall here to Popovic. Miloslav Popovic, former Australian Youth International. New signing this year. And he's done well there to win the free kick. And Michael Kuda's also going to go into the book. A flurry of late yellow cards. This gives Marconi a dead ball, a chance to strike direct. Just working it out between Costanzo and Temilkovsky, who's going to assume the responsibility here. As Bizanis sets up a wall. He's going to make it a 4-man wall. And Costanzo's the players put the ball down. Still debating with Temilkovsky. And it is going to be Costanzo. And he steps up and tries to shape it around the wall. He does exactly that, and he forces a save from Bizanis. Decent effort, that one from Dominic Costanzo. He's trying to further his tally for the season. Not too far away from making it 5-1. Happy to keep it in the corner here, the Stallions, just eating away the seconds. Doing well to win the corner. Happy to keep it in the corner. I'm sure they'll go short. The referee wants them to take it quick. And they've got it here with Oyama, who's so good in tight areas. Look at him just keep possession. And he has played it off APIA yet again. So it's another corner. Clever play. Here's Oyama. This time he sends it in. Clearance comes from Stewart. And now Detroyer can go forward on the gallop. This one's going to be a corner at the other end for the home side. In it comes. Now on the edge of the box is Sullivan. Detroyer. Out here to Armson. Early delivery. Detroyer was the player attacking it. Defensive header comes. So another corner here to Apia. Can't be too long to go now. Maybe their last opportunity to notch up another one as Simmons climbs and he hits the crossbar with the header. Following up there was Den Mead. The referees pointed to the goal kick. Marconi, they have given up a couple of opportunities since it's going up 4-0. That one hitting the crossbar. So APIA finishing well, getting a goal. They've had a couple of chances since then as well. That time the foul from Temelkovsky. Here's Kambayashi, who moved into the midfield after Atsoni came on. Now Costanzo can look to spring another counter-attack. Popovic was the target. Buzanis takes control. Here is Kuda, sliding it down the line. Now Denmead, looking for that early delivery. And this time, that is the final action. And what a statement victory for the Stallions. After suffering a couple of Derby d'Italia losses earlier on in the campaign, they've bounced back here with a thumping 4-1 victory. A double from Marko Jesic. And they also had some handy contributions from elsewhere, with James Temelkovsky getting himself a goal and an assist. And Franco Meyer doing exactly the same. So 4-1 for the Stallions. And they get their season and title ambitions back on track. It was a must-win game for them. They came here knowing that after a couple of losses in a row in the league, they needed to bounce back. And they've done exactly that. And they go forward now and think about the make-up game on a Wednesday against Rockdale Illingdon, and they know that if they can win that, it will be a result that moves them up into third spot. So there's plenty to look forward to midweek. I'll be out there at the Palace Marconi Stadium for that big blockbuster catch-up round 17 match, so make sure you join us for that. Till then, wrapping up a big 4-1 victory for the Marconi Stallions over APIA Leichhardt.